Running on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
Well, it's been a long time since I left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Let me stop. This is your boy Bobby Brown with the Bobby Brown Show. It's been a long time. And the reason it's been a long time because I've been dealing with people who had COVID, you know, people who don't want to take the vaccine, but they don't want to take anything to kind of put themselves in a position where they can practice preventive medicine, you know, which I've told them to do and they never did it. And then I told them, once you get these symptoms, you need to take these things. Don't wait till you get in the hospital and don't wait on the freaking vaccine. Matter of fact, I'm not even telling people to get seen with that particular vaccine. So let me shut you guys up. I am not against vaccines. If you feel that vaccine is better to treat you, go for it. Now me, I've gotten vaxxed. I got vaxxed twice. I did that for the sake of my loved ones because they sold me that bill of goods, do this for your loved ones. And I did it. Come to find out my loved ones were already vaccinated. Had I known that, I wouldn't have got vaccinated. Why? Because I knew the early treatment were available and that you could treat this like you could treat a freaking common cold, but they don't want you to think that. They want you to be out of your freaking mind and being scared to the point that you're going to go ahead and get the vaccine because you need to keep your job, you need to keep this, you need to keep that. In other words, they're going full Nazi Germany on you. And people say, oh, you can't compare that. No. Well, let me make it a little more lighter. They're going full medical Jim Crowe. Now, Tucker Carlson went on his show and he had something to say about medical Jim Crowe, and the people went crazy. And I have to say, I do agree with him in most of this statement. Watch this.
Pretty much everybody agreed that segregation was the worst thing this country ever did. Forcing certain categories of citizens into separate, lesser accommodations, barring them from public places, treating them like lepers or untouchables, that was completely immoral, and pretty much everybody agreed that segregation was the worst thing this country ever did. Forcing certain categories...
Now, you notice he said pretty much everyone. That don't mean he agree with y'all, but pretty much everyone. 9 out of 10, he don't agree. He'll probably agree with you in your face for the sake of political correctness. But this bigot, racist son of a gun, Jimmy Dore, don't. Jimmy, how about you take some time out and call Tucker Carlson out on his bigotry? It's fine and dandy you go on the show and change a few minds, but why don't you change a few minds on some things that's really, really worth changing? Because you can talk about Medicare for all and the military complex, but you don't call him out on his racist bigotry when it comes to black people. Heck, when it comes to brown people. Heck, when it comes to poor white people. He don't like them. So when you go on the show, call him out on that. Oh, I know you want to be a friend of the show. See, folks, I got a problem with this friend of the show crap. That's why I don't interview people on my show. I'm going to start, don't get me wrong. But they know that even if we want to hang out, you will not become a friend of the show. Because I can't be a person correct my friend, because you love somebody to a point where you don't want to correct them. You let them figure it out on their own. Well, you know, one day they'll get it. One day my husband will stop beating on me if I keep loving them. Man, all right, let me get back to the story.
Categories of citizens into separate, lesser accommodations, barring them from public places, treating them like lepers or untouchables. That was completely immoral and wrong. We were told that a lot, and most of us strongly agreed. It was wrong.
Now, before we do anything, let me bring this back up because it's very, very important for me to do this. So give me a second. I have to bring this up. This is so important. In good faith, this work contains fair use of the copyrighted and non-copyrighted images from the public domain and the web for non-commercial and non-profit educational purpose. This work is distributed free of charge. The author has neither monetized his work nor sought any profit from his distribution. That's me. I'm not making no money out of it. So that's why I'm working a job, y'all, because I don't get... Let me leave that alone. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism. I'm going to be critical here in this piece as well as I am all pieces. Commenting, you guys get to comment up here and I get to say something too. News reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing, but nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. The work contains original work. This work contains original work of the commentary and the critical analysis. Quotations are attributed to the original authors and its source. Now, with that being said, back to our regularly scheduled program.
So imagine our confusion today looking out across the country. The very same people, literally the very same, who just the other day told us that segregation was immoral, are now enforcing segregation. Should we be surprised? Probably not, but we still are. Just this morning, the New York Times informed us that unless you can prove you have taken the injection that the Democratic Party demands you take, you are no longer permitted in bars, comedy clubs, even some dance competitions in the state of New York. You're too dirty to appear in public. You're not welcome near normal people. Want to watch the NBA playoffs?
Now, let me stop there. Now, I know this sounds far-fetched, and I am in no way, shape, form a Tucker Carlson guy. But that's exactly how people are starting to treat you. And I'm going to get into this a little later. I see lefty YouTubers, and I would call them out by their name, but I'd rather show the video, trying to shame and make a mockery of the unvaxxed. Y'all need to get rid of the program. You sit here and complain during the Democratic primary, you being progressives. You hoping Bernie will actually lead the Democratic Party and start a revolution, and you ride on the white pony or white soldier down to victory in the independent lane with him. I was one of them. We get upset and mad because you shaming non-voters, people who want you to earn their vote. You would shame a Democrat, you would shame a Republican and tell them, shame on you. You trying to force them to pick the lesser two evils instead of let them make that own choice on themselves. Shame on you. You will the hellfire will come up and down on them. But now, because we want to push this vaccine to the highest of height, we tried everything. We tried free marijuana. We tried Dunkin' Donuts. We tried Krispy Kreme donuts for a whole year. We tried coffee all day, every day from Panera Bread. You name it. We gave out scholarships to go to college and all that kind of stuff. You did whatever you could to get people to take this freaking vaccine, and you still didn't hit your numbers, Joe. And now you're frustrated because if you don't hit your numbers, you might have to do another stimulus package. And that's what this is all about. They don't want to extend your employment. They don't want to extend a moratorium on the rent. They don't want to extend nothing on your behalf. Negro, get in there and get your shot, or we going to make you pay. You ain't going to be able to go to the movie. We ain't going to even let you go to the grocery store. We're not even going to let you order any food to come to your house from Instacart or whatever, because we don't want that guy catching COVID. He got his shots. When you going to get yours? This denigrating, this shaming. No, shame on you, Negro. Shame on you. But let me get back into Tucker. Tucker Carlson is right, because I don't like this bigot, man. I don't like him. But a bigot could be right, just like a clock could be right two times a day. A bigot can be right too. They're not all ignorant and stupid. They got some knowledge somewhere. And Tucker Carlson is not just only a personal card carrying white supremacist himself, he is financed by white supremacy to spew off these talking points. But in this particular area, he's right, but he's saying it in a smug way. Heck, if you're going to force me to get vaccine, then you might well force them Negroes back into their own toilet seats. You're going around town. They're knocking on your doors here in New York City. I got a friend of mine, Kiba, beautiful friend. We're going to start doing Union Matters together. That's her job. She has to go canvass to see if people got their shots. And I'm like, Kiba, I love you, girl, but I wish your mother would come to my house. I wish your mother would come to my house, ask about what I got. There's laws called a HIPAA rule. It ain't none of your god doggone business about my medical situation. Not working for you guys. It ain't none of your god. Let me keep going.
Person, you had better be vaccinated to do that. Otherwise, the New York Knicks will bar you from Madison Square Garden.
True.
You can still go see a baseball game if you want to, but be warned, you will be sitting in your own roped-off section, marinating in your shame with the other disobedient bad people.
Right.
Medical Jim Crowe has come to America. If we still had water fountains, the unvaccinated would have separate ones.
Now, I'm going to show a video of Joy Reid dumping on Tucker Carlson for saying this. But Tucker Carlson is speaking truth here. This devil is speaking truth here. Let me stop that, man. Let me stop saying this. There's a scripture that said we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but principality, rulers, powers, wicked spirit in high places. This person who allowed his mind to become devilish is right on this issue. Joy Reid is one smearing two of the establishment that they hired to dump on people who are right. It is called medical Jim Crow. You're being separated from society. And Joe Biden made this statement, we're going to bring America together because Trump divided. All right, Negro, you sure doing a bad job of bringing it together because you letting this vaccine causing you to put mandates on people and people ain't going to buy it. There's some people who rather sit there and die than let you take away their freedom. And that's the way it's supposed to be in America. I'm not going to let you sit here and try to control my life. Had somebody on there say, you're going to have to get it done sooner or later because, you know, what you going to do? I moved to Africa. I moved to a remote island. I'll go somewhere, but I'm not going to let this country force me into doing anything. It's my choice. Now, I've been pro-life in a sense for all my life. I don't want nobody to die. I don't want babies to die. I don't want nobody to die. Now, if it's a choice between the baby and the mother, yeah, that's that mother's choice. But I don't want to see nobody die. And I know y'all don't like that, but shut up. Get out my face. That's my personal choice. I don't want to see nobody die. I'm a single father who lost my son. I don't want nobody just casually just because, yo, man, I tore that behind up last night, man. 3 months later, yo, man, she pregnant. But you tore that behind up last night, right? Did you put a condom on? It's not the baby's fault. I'm not pro-abortion. I am for a woman's right to choose in her life about what she do, but I'm saying that even in your choices, there's consequences. Did you know there's a scripture in the Bible say choose this day whom you gonna serve? So that means God is a pro-choice and a pro-life God. So why I can't be a pro-choice and pro-life person? I want people to live. I don't want nobody to die. I want people to be born and have a healthy, long life, including myself, including you. But if you want to be dumb enough to kill yourself, that's your dumb fault. If you want to be dumb enough to walk around here without taking any kind of vitamins and supplements, I mean, that's on you. But you don't go force something in somebody's arm, or else you ain't gonna have no freaking job. That is medical Jim Crow. You're segregating. You're separating people. Tucker is right.
Pretty much everybody agreed that segregation was the worst thing this country ever did. Forcing certain categories of citizens into separate, lesser accommodations, barring them from public places, treating them like lepers or untouchables, that was completely immoral and wrong. We were told that a lot, and most of us strongly agreed. It was wrong. So imagine our confusion today looking out across the country. The very same people, literally the very same, who just the other day told us that segregation was immoral, are now enforcing segregation. Should we be surprised? Probably not, but we still are. Just this morning, the New York Times informed us that unless you can prove you have taken the injection that the Democratic Party demands you take, you are no longer permitted in bars, comedy clubs, even some dance competitions.
Again, he is right. Again, Tucker is right. Again, Tucker Carlson, white supremacist extraordinary bigot, card-carrying Klan member, you just probably won't see it. Super libertarian is right on this subject.
In the state of New York, you're too dirty to appear in public. You're not welcome near normal people. Want to watch the NBA playoffs in person? You had better be vaccinated to do that. Otherwise, the New York Knicks will bar you from Madison Square Garden. You can still go see a baseball game if you want to, but be warned, you will be sitting in your own roped-off section, marinating in your shame with the other disobedient bad people. Medical Jim Crow has come to America. If we still had water fountains, the unvaccinated would have separate ones.
And that's true. But because they cut off the water fountain machine because they scared you're going to catch COVID. Oh boy. Tucker Carlson is right in this situation. You oppress anybody who say there's other ways of treating COVID. We've been doing it since this thing started, and I challenge you to prove me wrong, and you don't take the challenge, but you're still gonna dump on them. You do a anti-Kasparian on them. You just spit out crap, spit out talking points. Don't research to find out whether it's true or not. Don't go to the CDC and dig. Don't go to the WHO and dig. Don't go to the National Institute of Health. You don't go anywhere to dig for the information. You just hear the news say it and you copycat it the same way. You got liberals, supposed to be the true freedom fighters, shaming the unvaxxed and saying you deserve this. If you don't get it, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to go get something to eat in a restaurant. You don't get. You might well say, well, you don't deserve it because you're black. You can't change your color. You're not on our level, buddy. Start your own restaurant. Start your own restaurant. You burn that down because you're jealous. Can't believe, man. People who I've contributed to and supported, and they still do some good work, especially in real journalism and stuff like that. Talking this, popping off this stuff like they nutsos. So no, they're going along, get along, right along with the Biden plan. And I don't care if it was the Biden plan concerning COVID or Trump plan considered COVID, forcing people's health and forcing people's wealth and forcing people into poverty or putting a threat out there thinking. So you put the threat out there, you want this threat to be over a person's head to the point that they actually believe this crap instead of investigating the executive order, investigating the law itself. You just want them to comply. Joe Biden will rather you comply. Just do it. Or else. Yet this whole time, this experiment, and I fell for it. I'm the dummy. I let my emotions of missing my family really get to me. But yeah, you ain't gonna get no booster up in this arm. You can kiss my caramel complected cheek. Shame on this country. Shame on people. You guys are sitting up here supporting medical Jim Crowe. You're supporting it. Now, I was calling medical Jim Crowe from day one when they was keeping information from us so people can die. When they was trashing on anything. See, the whole goal was to come up with a chemically based vaccine. Vicine. I say Vicine, it's cold. So they can make profit off your blood, off your health. Your family members die. My close friends died. All because these people want to come up with a vaccine so they can make big money when they've been out here for the longest time. Repurposed meds already out there that just need to be repurposed. The length and height they'll go to try to keep this train going of putting stuff in you, and we'll take it out of your taxpayer's pocket, out of you, the taxpayer pocket, to pay for it. You ain't got to pay up front, but you will pay. We'll do it through another stimulus, or do it through another pack. They're not going to do another stimulus pack. And that's the reason why they're trying to shame you and mock you and make you feel like it's your reason. You're a walking time bomb. Well, it's proven that you still can catch the virus, so you're still a walking time bomb. Whether you get sick and end up in the hospital or not, everybody is a walking freaking time bomb. It's because that vaccine is not only internal, but it's external. And it's already out here. What are you, COVID hunter? You got a black coat on with a special gun, hunting COVID, and think you're going to wipe COVID off the face of this planet? No. It's out here now. You got to know how to treat it. You can't wipe out the common cold. You can't wipe out the flu. You can't even wipe out the AIDS virus, Anthony Fauci. And all of a sudden, you're trying to shame other doctors as if you the only expert in the freaking world. You're not the expert in the world. Folks, he's not a world expert. He's only the chief virologist in this government. Yet this government have more COVID deaths than any other government. You look at Africa that use unconventional methods and look at their rate of deaths in COVID. But yet black people are the ones that they're most vulnerable. When most of Africa is 80% plus black. Yet they're not going through the COVID hell that we're going through. And the reason they're not going through the COVID hell that we're going through, because they're using meds and they just repurpose stuff since they always had these meds. These people ain't got the money to pay our government to get some vaccine in them that you don't know what's going to happen to you down the road. Yes, it keeping people out the hospital in some cases, mostly out the hospital. I had one of my boys on my job, passed out on the floor, COVID, got both shots. So what you saying? Walking time bomb. You a walking time bomb. I got the vaccine. You still a walking freaking time bomb. You know who's not a walking time bomb? Those who prophylax. Those who take early medical treatments. Whether it's conventional or not, whether it's been peer studied or not, who gives a god doggone... Who cares whether it's peer study or not? Is medicine on the shelf in your health food store? If you can get it in you. You don't wait for no peer review to get that stuff in you. You don't wait till multi-trials. The stuff is already proven safe. The stuff already been proven by the Food and Drug Administration. It's proven by food for decades. They didn't have to apply the political pressure on these government bureaucrat agencies like the CDC, like the Food and Drug Administration. Political pressure is always on them. And they cave. And they say stuff, but don't say everything. They post stuff, but don't post everything. And you sit there and hear what they say, and you go out there and put it on your YouTube channel, or you go out there and spit it up in your neighborhoods or in your barbershop, and you ain't even really investigate. And you know Rachel Maddow said, who gives a crap what Rachel Maddow said? She ain't, you better listen to these doctors. Well, the World Health Organization, you talking about a bunch of scientists? You better listen to your doctor. Well, my doctor said, no, your doctor said that because he bought that lie. Your doctor 9 times 10 didn't even do it. He probably just read an order that came through a ticker in his computer. Do not do this. Instead of asking why. This man was going into get his prescription of HCQ. He was taking it in low dose along with some zinc and zithromycin. It's been known to kill the virus inside that body. It's not a virus eradicator from the United States or from the world, but it kills the virus in your body. The doctor did not even want to give him the meds. He said, I hope you ready for a lawsuit that if something happened to me because you didn't give me my medication, I'm going to sue you behind. Whether you got to order or not, I'm still going to sue you. All this stuff could have been avoided. Now you're getting ready to do a freaking Jim Crow segregation style COVID verification system. Instead of putting whites only on a water fountain or at the bar at the counter or in the window, you say, pull out the accessory pass. Prove to me that you got the vaccine. How about you prove to me you get up out my face? And if I don't need to go to your establishment, I don't need to go to your establishment. I'll pack me a bag of lunch and go sit in the park if I need to have a romantic dinner with my lady. I'll order a Kool-Aid by the pound. I'm not gonna let you take my freedom of choice. Like I said, I mean, got the shots. It's on me. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We only consume what's going to happen. We all of us are in this thing as a faith venture or faith walk. I don't know what this vaccine is going to do. Here's one thing I will not do. I will not take a flu shot and mix that in with that vaccine. Now you got a concoction. And when you got a whole bunch of concoction, then you might be unconscious for life. Tucker Carlson is right. This is medical segregation. So Joe Reed and all you're ignorant, no mind of your own, human copycat. You just put the orders in me and I'll spit them out. You all can go somewhere. You all, in my opinion, go to Brooklyn Bridge, look down at the water, and jump in it. I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report. I'm Robert Brown. I'm Bobby Brown with the Bobby Brown Show. I'll holler at you later. Peace.